My name is Amy Mazzi, and I'm with Centurion Boats. And today I'm going to walk you through the all-new 2025 Centurion Nv213. This boat is your opportunity at the world's best waves, wakes, and ride for an amazing price. Let's check it out. The all-new Nv213 is a wide bow. It's wide from the outside and it's extremely wide and accommodating on the inside. It also gives this boat a really aggressive look. There's lots of body lines that come together towards the bow of the boat, and it is beautiful. It also gives you the option to have these docking lights. These docking lights are extremely powerful, 2,400 lumens a side, and they light up the water in front of you just like this boat's gonna light up your life. I can't go much farther than this as I walk down the profile of the Nv213. Why? Because look at these body lines. This thing stops you in your tracks. You can't help but just ogle over this boat. This boat is designed to be a showstopper, guaranteed. It's a showstopper on the water and off. You can also choose between 37 different gel coat colors to populate the main color panel of this boat in a core scheme. This particular boat is solid. It's white base, white main. You can't have the whole boat in 37 different colors, but 18, so you're close. It's not just the design of this boat that is a showstopper that really keeps everybody looking. It's all of the components that work with the overall design and style. They work together. Nothing is more obvious as being an integral part of the style of this boat than the windshield. This is the cropped windshield from Centurion, new for this year. It's made by PCMW and it is beautiful in its own right. But put it on the Nv213 and it looks like it was made to go with it, because it was. It also has the model designator etched into the windshield itself, and it's cropped so it doesn't have a huge wing on the side. You don't have to stand up to talk to a fallen rider. You don't have to wait to stand up and reach out for a dock when you're coming in to dock. It gives you that convenience and that functionality. It also still keeps you dry because it's got that little bit of cropped wing on the side. It has form, it has function, and gosh dang it, it looks good. When we're talking about signature elements of the Nv213, we can't not talk about the Battle Advance Tower from Roswell. This tower is beautiful looking, it's extremely strong, and it's really easy to fold. I can fold this tower by myself in a matter of minutes. And even if there are optional components on the tower, I can still do it by myself. Why? Because there's a contraption built into the leg of the tower on either side that takes all of the weight off of it. So I actually have to undo the ties on the side and pull it down, and then push it back up, but it doesn't fall as soon as you undo the safety levers. It is strong, easy to use, and beautiful. As we move towards the transom on the Nv213, you have a lot more beauty with the Centurion Chromex decal that's on the side. You also have some great functionality in dual gas fills. So I can fill this boat on either side at the fuel pump. That means that no matter what side your tow vehicle fuels on, we've got you covered. You also have one more beautiful functional element in the fresh air vent, the billet fresh air vent that's on the back. It's got the warrior head etched into it, and it has a pull-up cleat in it as well. But it's also beautiful. It's made to go with the lines of the boat, and you've got a lot going on back here. You also have optional bumper cleats that you can put on the Nv213. These cleats allow a bumper to plug in very easily when you're coming up to a dock, so all of your ties are already pre-done for you. It's fast, it's quick, and when you're done docking, you can put them away in the storage again. It's that simple. When we're talking about the Nv213, we have to start with performance. It is a Centurion after all, and this boat is all about wake surf and wakeboarding, rough water ride performance. And that's all because of the Opti-V hull. This hull allows the boat to ride level in the water from side to side. It is a deep V, but with the optimized running triangles that are built into the underside of this boat, it allows this boat to be balanced from side to side. That's really important when you want a symmetrical wakeboard wake and a symmetrical wake surf wave, and one that's easily formed. What it doesn't take away from is the rough water ride that a deep V provides. So this optimized deep V is the Opti-V hull, and it is literally the foundation that the performance of the NV213 is built on. The 2025 NV213 from Centurion has almost 4,900 pounds of ballast in it, available from the factory. That's a lot for a 21-foot, 3-inch boat. So what that means is it displaces this hull and makes a great surf wave on either side. But when you make those big surf waves, and you're driving the boat, you have your surfer maybe fall, and you're getting ready to go around and pick them back up, you don't want the wave to come onto the inside of the boat. That's really important. Well, our designers here at Centurion have thought of that. They built the back of this boat specifically to deflect the wave from behind the boat. So in other words, when this boat stops, when a rider's fallen off, the wave tends to keep going, but it just keeps going into the back of this boat, gets knocked down, and then you're turning around and on your way back to get that rider with everybody dry on the inside of the boat. As we move around to the back of the Centurion NV213, you get a great look at the wave deflection design that the back of this transom has. It's really pretty to look at, but also super functional. You also get a good look at the swim step. It's all new on this particular boat. It's shaped unlike any other Centurion swim step, and it's got a really cool gator step pattern that's available on it. As well as you've got an available transom stereo remote, so you can control the tunes even when you've been swimming back here in the water. And underneath the swim step, you've got another bunch of stuff going on. So we have all kinds of cool available options that you will find on the NV213. You have the Silent Stinger wake plate, which is our essentially trim tab that allows you to change the running attitude of the boat. But what the Silent Stinger does, different from the Stinger wake plate, is it dampens the noise of the engine. It forces water through the plate when the boat is underway and tumbles it with the exhaust from the engine through a series of baffles and really quiets down the interior of the boat. So it gives you two functions in one plate, and it is available on the NV213. You also have the quick surf option on the 213. So if you want to surf behind this boat, you're going to want that option. That allows you to switch the wave from side to side in about 1.8 seconds. So you can make that transfer fast. You also have the option of underwater lights on the NV213. You can get really big underwater lights that are RGBW capable and a total of 20,000 lumens, or you can get some more medium underwater lights, which are about 4,800 lumens and shine in a white light. There are a lot of customizable options available on the NV213, some for function, some for form, but all are great for you. As I step up onto the swim step of the NV213, I get a way better look at this beautiful swim step, as well as the gator step pattern that's on it. It's a 2-layer Centurion cut pattern. It's beautiful to look at, but the swim step itself has a lot of function built into it. It has handles tooled into it so you can grab and pull yourself up. It also has a gentle rocker that rolls off towards the rear edge of the swim step, so it's easier to get up onto. It's easier for most people. It's still difficult for me without a ladder, but hey, we do offer an optional ladder if you need that. When I actually want to sit down on the back of the boat and you look at the accommodation that the NV213 offers, it's pretty plush back here. But it's not just about the look or even the feel of it. What about the storage? I can put things away back here. And I can do it very easily. I have a trunk that goes across the whole back of this boat that can store wet things, dry things, dirty things. I just put my shoes in there. Anything you want can be stored back here, and you can easily wash it out, hose it out if it's something that maybe left a little dirt behind. But when I close these, they're also really comfy seats. And I have a walkover that's a billet aluminum walkover that you can step on, so I'm not stepping on my sun pad or the vinyl of my boat. And it leads to a fiberglass walkover that's color matched to the base of your boat, and then it goes all the way down to the step on the rear seat on the interior of the boat that allows you never to touch your upholstery with shoes. That walkover is worth it all in and of itself. But if I want to lay out back here, I still have a really big plush sun pad to lay on, throw a towel over that walkover, and it's just as comfortable. As I step in to the NV213, I have a perfect path to get me into this boat with that nice walkover, and then I can sit down and I start to realize this is a big 21-foot boat. It's got a really, really large lounge and it's extremely comfortable. I'm also sitting down into the boat. It's very deep, which is nice because it probably makes a good sized wave. So I don't ever have to worry about taking water over the back or water over the front. And it hits me in a great spot on the back, so it's very ergonomically comfortable. It's rated for 12 people, and I could see 12 people in this boat with room for them and their stuff. It is very comfortable. So there are a lot of custom elements in the NV213, one of which is the non-skid, the flooring. This is made by Gator Step, and you have the choice of a 2-layer or a single layer scheme. And this particular boat, you've got 2 layers of Gator Step, and you can choose between 15 different colors on each layer. And when you choose that 2-layer scheme, you also get Gator Step on the risers, you get Gator Step on the deck, you get Gator Step everywhere. So the customization in the NV213 abounds. There are all kinds of custom elements of this boat, one of which is the interior, the vinyl choices of this boat. You have 3 different schemes available: a hex accent scheme, an all hex scheme, and hex is a texture of vinyl that we offer. Or you have our new Cool Touch scheme, which this boat has. So Cool Touch we have available in 6 different colors, and it allows the temperature of the upholstery to stay cool, as the name would suggest. And it's typically available in darker colors. The colors you see in this boat are black and mocha. You've also got 4 other colors to choose from for the Cool Touch scheme. Say that 3 times fast. But probably the most impressive part of this interior is not necessarily the look of it, but it is the strength of it. And part of that strength comes from how these pieces of vinyl are sewn together. It's with this thread. This thread is actually Teflon thread. It's Teflon, extremely strong, and it allows these stitches, either a triple stitch, which is a French seam, or these stitches that are 2 lines of stitching together, which we call a half stitch. These hold the 2 pieces of vinyl together so they can't come apart, but the stitching is almost stronger than the vinyl itself. And like Teflon, nothing sticks to it. You can clean it. No chemicals are going to deteriorate it. It is strong stuff. So this interior is built to be beautiful, functional, because this particular interior is supposed to keep you cooler even with darker colors, but it's also built to last. The Battle Advanced Tower by Roswell is a beautiful tower. It's extremely strong and functional as well. But you can customize this tower, and that is one of my favorite parts about this tower. I can color these tower shields. These shields come in 37 different gel coat colors, so you can match them to the exterior of your boat. This one, white. Yeah, may not seem that exciting, but believe me, you can make it just about any color under the sun. The tower itself also accepts a lot of options. You can see a lot of them here. So we have the Hero stereo system by Wet Sounds. This stereo system has 4 10-inch horns in the tower. These horns project sound out to the rider behind you, but then you also have interior speakers from Wet Sounds that are spilling the sound inside the boat, as well as a subwoofer underneath the dash. So this thing rocks. You also have the option of a Champ stereo system on this tower, which is a little bit more subdued sound-wise, but just as fun to have. You also have the availability of racks on this tower. So I have swivel racks. This one happens to be the Mag swivel rack by Roswell. You can go up to the Bombshell 1.0 rack from Roswell, and then again to the Bombshell 2.0. They all house surfboards, wakeboards, and they all swivel, giving you the convenience of loading and unloading your boards in the boat. The other thing you might see or notice in this frame is this bimini. This bimini is optional on the Battle Advance Tower, and it is made by So Long. And the name suggests, yes, it is so long. In fact, in this 21-foot 3-inch boat, the bimini covers the entire lounge, from windshield to the back seat. Everyone in this boat is shaded. And yes, that is all because of the support it receives from the Battle Advance Tower. The observer area of the NV213 is big and accommodating. It's got a lot going on. I mean, the observer has access to the glove box, which is locking storage, so that's great. But at the same time, that glove box houses the battery management system and our PDM breaker panel. The battery management system is a full isolated system. So the batteries, the engine and the house battery, are truly separate from one another. What does that mean for the customer? You can be out on the water and listening to the stereo, just hanging out swimming, engine not running, and just be running off the house battery. That helps you so that when you're ready to go home, you can turn on that engine battery and then have all the cranking power you need to get back to the dock. Also, with the PDM breaker panel, you have access to all of the PDMs that are in the boat if they for some reason needed to be reset. Normally, you'd be directed to do that by a tech if you were having some kind of an issue when you're out on the water. But it used to be that those PDMs were spread out through the boat. You kind of have to dig through storage areas to find them and then reset each one. This way, you have access to them all right here easily in the glove box. You've also got a couple cup holders up here. You've got a great gator step pad, so you've got a nice place to set your arm if you're just hanging out in the observer seat. You also have gator step all along the side here. So when I sit down, I can put my arm up on the deck of the boat, and if my boat happened to have a dark base color on the deck, it's not going to burn me. This gator step is not only nice to step on, it's nice to touch because it doesn't get hot, even the dark colors in the sun. You also have a lot of room here in the observer seat. This seat is wide and very, very accommodating, maybe even for 2 people. And if I can be coaxed to get out of this seat, I can also open up the storage area. And the storage area in the observer area is massive. You can fit all kinds of stuff in there, as you see here. You can fit everything you want. And the great thing about having a new battery management system that's in the glove box, I don't have to worry about digging through all of that gear in the OB storage to get to my isolator switch. Now it can house all my gear and I can put it away, out of sight, out of mind, and then I can relax in my nice observer seat. So as we move through the lounge of the NV213, you start to see there's a lot going on at every seat. Even on the side seats, you've got these great side panels that have cup holders in them. They have the speakers for the wet sound stereo system you might have in the boat. They also have grab handles in case your driver's getting a little bit crazy, making back turns on the water. You got a place to hold on. And then underneath each seat, we have amazing storage. In fact, storage underneath every lounge seat. And the storage area, it looks beautiful in and of itself because it's finished. It's actually rhino lined. So that allows it to look consistent even in the storage areas where you don't typically look. But it also holds your gear in place. It doesn't have everything sliding back and forth on a slippery fiberglass gel-coated surface. And these seats are hinged and shocked. So I can open them up with one hand, load my gear in with both of my hands, and then shut it back down. While there's a lot going on in every seat of the NV213, probably not much more going on than in the driver's seat. There's a lot of stuff to unpack here. We've got a lot of things happening, but they're all really, really good things. I have extreme control over everything, but that control starts with the foundation of my seat, my driver's seat. This seat is a Cobra racing seat, and it's a high back seat that hugs me on the sides. I feel stable and secure in this seat, so I feel like I've got ultimate control as soon as I sit down. And the seat allows me to still swivel around and participate in the conversation in the lounge. Even though this is a 21-foot, 3-inch boat, the lounge in this is pretty big and it accommodates as many as 12 people. So I want to be able to be in the conversation if I'm not driving, that is. But if I am driving and I want to swivel back around, eyes forward, but let's say I have a rider in tow and I'm looking in the mirror and I don't quite see what I need to see, I can quickly throw a leg over because there's this notch built into the Cobra racing seat, check my rider behind me, make sure everything's okay, come back around, and we're ready to go. That to me is one of the most functional pieces of this seating area of the boat is the seat itself. I also have access to every single system in the boat through my split HD screen. This particular screen allows me to control just about everything, just at a touch. I have a 7-piece menu on my right side here where I can choose home, I can choose to see my surf wave setup, my ballast, my lighting, my navigation, my settings, my rider profiles, you name it, and I have control of it all through this screen. I also have a stereo face mounted on the dash that is also a touch screen, but it gives me the ability to control my wet sound stereo system. In this boat, it happens to be the Hero stereo system, so I want to make sure I have great control of that. Also, I have control of the volume both through the screen and through the stereo face. The stereo face is just a knob, so it's really quick and easy to turn the tunes up or down if I need to quickly. I like that when I'm coming back around to pick up a fallen rider, I can turn it down quickly, make sure they don't need to communicate something to me that I'm not hearing. I also have access to an available wireless charging cell phone holder here. So my cell phone can always be at an eye's view away, and then I can look back to the water very easily after that. I've also got a little storage cubby here for anything that I don't want to get lost in one of the bigger storage areas in this boat, whether it be my wedding ring or a watch if I want to take it off before I ride. That's a really good cubby to have, and it stays up, out of the way, dry, and secure. When I'm driving the boat, I feel like I always want to be able to see the water in front of me. And sometimes in certain boats, I can't do that because there's a lot of bow rise when you're surfing or bow rise when you're wakeboarding, because a lot of the ballast weight is behind the windshield of those boats. In this particular boat, it has as much as 4,900 pounds of ballast in it and is very evenly distributed front to back in the boat. So it rides very level in the water. And thanks to this low brow of the dash, I don't even have to sit up on the bolster to still see the water in front of me when I'm driving. And thanks to my paddle shifters, I don't have to take my eyes off the water to adjust my Stinger wake plate on my left side or my set speed with 0 off speed control on my right. It's very easy to do. I can just pull the paddle shifter toward me either on the upside or the downside to increase the plate or increase the speed. Whatever control I need, I've got it in the driver's area. With the room that the Nv213 provides, you can accommodate a lot of people in this boat. But with a lot of people comes a lot of people's stuff and a lot of times trash. I'm a mom, I know, we want to make sure everything is thrown away, and luckily we have a trash chute in the walkthrough of the 213. This allows me to throw everything away. I don't have to have somebody get out of their seat to lift a cushion and get to a trash can. It's very easy, out of sight, out of mind, and cleaned up. And now we're gonna venture to the last seating area in the boat that we have yet to cover. Oh, but probably the most comfortable, the bow. Yes, I said those two words in the same sentence, the most comfortable seat and the bow. Because in a Centurion, and specifically the Nv213, it is one of the most comfortable places to sit. Because of that Opti-V hull, it's got that deep V that cuts through the chop on a really rough day, so you don't get bounced out of your mind on the bow. You can sit here in comfort. You've got a couple stereo speakers and a few cup holders, as well as some power points to charge, either USB or USB-C. And this is a great place to sit. You also have an optional filler cushion, which makes this bow a playpen. You and another person can sit up here all day long in the lap of luxury and relax. As long as you sit here in this bow, you will be as comfortable as you can be in a Centurion boat. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the all-new 2025 NV213. This 21-foot, 3-inch boat is amazing. It packs all kinds of customization and all kinds of Centurion performance. But don't take my word for it. Visit your local Centurion Boats dealer and let us prove it to you today.